Not unusual to need to understand what the word catechesis is and all the other words that are derived from that. Catechists, catechism. The word catechesis derives from the Greek, which means to echo down. What the catechist is echoing down is what God has revealed to the world that needs to be taught, that needs to be passed down.
We're very blessed, and I'd say it's a privilege for the Dominican Sisters to be a part of bringing her life's work to fruition. When she retired after her time at Franciscan University, she came back to Ann Arbor, which is her roots, because I had her at class, her very first class that she taught at Franciscan University.
I thought you might be interested to know some of the students that God sent to Franciscan University to study with me, and that I had the great pleasure of teaching. Chris Stefanik, Edward Sri, Jeff Cavins, Bill Kymick, Ron Bolster, Eric Westby, Bob Rice, James Pauley, Scott Solem, Amy Roberts, Sister John Dominic, Sister Elizabeth Ann, Sean Dalton, Jim Beckman, Carol Brown, Tim Carpenter, William O'Leary, Carson Weber.
I asked her if she'd be willing to come over and give our sisters some instruction on catechesis. The sisters were just enthralled by the way in which she was presenting a certain way on how to hand on the faith, that I thought, we've got to get this knowledge. This institutional knowledge that she's had for her entire life needs to be preserved. So I asked Barbara, and she kind of looked at me, and she was like, yes. But in God's providence, at a certain period of time, we had reached a point where we really needed someone to be able to sit down with her because she could no longer write. And at that time, Sister Athanasius was available.
Barbara Morgan is a legend in catechesis, and she's given so much to the church that's so important. It was really a dream come true to be able to work with her on this and to help make this accessible to catechists. This has been a project that's been in the work for, 20 years, 10 years with our community. So I would come to her home and sit with her for a few hours each week as we went through the doctrines to make everything just mesh together and make sure the whole faith was represented.
We have generations of young people that don't know the faith, that hasn't been handed on. Young people that really have to be evangelized, and then you have to be evangelized before you can be catechized. In this resource, we've taken 62 doctrines, and all the information that you need to know about that particular doctrine is in one place. That's what I think is beautiful about it. And in the introduction to the book, there's a great little roadmap, all right, that helps guide you through how to unpack each of the doctrines. So in the roadmap, there's 7 keys to each doctrine. The first key is the divine perspective. The second key is the theological virtues. The third part is scripture and essentials. The fourth key, related doctrines. Then we have common errors. And then we move to beauty and the liturgical resources. I would say that this is for anyone that has the awesome responsibility of teaching the faith. If you're a parent, if you're homeschooling, if you're a priest and you want to enrich your homilies, if you're involved with youth ministry, if you are RCIA. So I encourage you to really just to get it, to meditate on it, to contemplate it, to marinate in it, just become saturated, and you have everything together right there at your fingertips. You'll become an awesome catechist to lead many souls to come to know Jesus Christ.